everyone, and welcome to Health Talk. Of course, Health Talk, a service of Pikeville Medical Center. I'm your host, Jill Fraley-Dotson. So glad you're joining us today. We have a very exciting topic to discuss, and our guests today, we want to welcome Michelle Rainey and Omar Wazir, who are representing Pikeville Medical Center on behalf of the new Nursing Recognition Program Award known as the Daisy Award. Good day. Hi.
How are you doing?
Thank you both for being here. I'm really excited to get to talk to you all about this. I've heard a little bit about the award, but I think it's really important to let our community know what the award is, who can be nominated, how nurses are chosen, because it is a very, very interesting and very honorable award that we're going to talk about today. Both of you have very important jobs at Pikeville Medical Center, so we want to get to know you a little bit better. Michelle, we'll start with you.
Okay, I'm Michelle Rainey. I'm the Chief Nursing Officer. I've been at Pikeville Medical Center for 21 years. I'm responsible for all the nurses basically at the hospital. We look at policies, procedures, things that we can do to improve patient care and outcomes.
Okay. Omar?
So I'm a project manager in the Human Resources Department, and my job is basically to kind of help her out as much as I can. And things like the Daisy Award are kind of one of the ways that I'm able to do that.
When we think about the hospital, we always think about the caregivers, the nurses, the doctors, people of that magnitude, but there are also people that are behind the scenes. When you say you're over all of the nurses, the enormity of that statement is really mind-blowing to think about the number of nurses that you have.
Yes.
And then to be in human resources and to help Michelle. And the Daisy Award is something that is certainly no small feat to elect the person that is chosen. So let's start off by telling Michelle, everyone wants to know what the Daisy Award is.
Well, DAISY is actually an acronym, and it stands for Diseases Attacking the Immune System. Patrick Barnes was a patient who he died at the age of 33 with a disease called ITP, idiopathic thrombocytopenia, and it's an autoimmune disease. And his family was just so moved by the way that the nurses cared for their loved one when he was in the hospital.
So how long has Pikeville Medical Center had this program?
We started last year in late fall, around probably December of 2016.
Okay, so fairly new.
Yes.
Yeah. Omar, why did Pikeville Medical Center become a part of this program? I mean, we just got it. It's been around for a while, but why did it become a part now?
Well, our nurses do absolutely amazing work, and our administration had kind of wanted to find a way to acknowledge that. So what had happened actually was the Vice President of Human Resources, Andrea Robinette, she had taken a visit out to a hospital in Houston, Texas, and she saw them celebrating the award and thought it would be something that would be pretty neat to bring back home.
Yeah.
So she came back and kind of took it from there.
And now we have the Daisy Award.
Yeah.
So how are nurses nominated for the award?
So anybody can nominate any nurse. It's all you have to do is if you see a nurse who's giving especially good care or just being there, really
going
being
above
there,
and
above and
beyond.
beyond, yeah.
Yeah.
Then all you have to do is fill out a Daisy nomination form and turn that in.
Okay, you fill out the form, and that's the way that you nominate, but there are different ways to get those nominations to the right people.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can fill it out on our website at www.pikevillehospital.org/nominate-a-nurse. Or you can, there are ballot boxes around the hospital at all of the information desks. You can take it and you can handwrite it from there and just drop it in the ballot box. You can fax it in, you can mail it in, it's given in discharge papers. So we try to make it as accessible as possible.
Certainly so. Michelle, how nurses do so much, and they have such tasking jobs. I mean, there's everything in the world that they're responsible for. So how do you choose? How is the Daisy Award winner chosen from all of these nurses that you have?
Well, every month there's a submission, and the Daisy Awards that are presented, whether it be from HR who will send it, they blind out who the nurse is. So the committee does not have any idea who it could be. So what we do is we review on this committee the story that's told about that nurse. What made her so special that made her be nominated for the Daisy Award? And if it was a family who nominated her, or even it could be another nurse or whoever, we look at that criteria and we look to see, was her skill set above and beyond? Was her caring and compassion above and beyond? And really, when someone's chosen, it's all nurses, I think, go above and beyond when they're there, but it's somebody who's special to you, who really touched you that day.
I can imagine that there are so many wonderful stories when you start going over the paperwork to see. Can you share some of the stories of the nurses that have been award winners?
Yes, well, there actually have been, we've had 5 awards. One of them was an ICU patient. The family was really just thrilled that they had, it was a hard time, patient was critically ill and their loved one passed away, but during that whole time, the nurse was there, would sit down and pray with them, would sit down, bring them meals, do things for them. That was just above and beyond that a normal nurse, wouldn't always do, but I mean, she just really went above and beyond. Yeah. Same thing with a cardiac nurse. We had another one who was very special. He would always sit, he would pray with the families, hold their hands, just different things that connected, made it worthwhile and purposeful. And one of the special ones we had was a NICU. We had a really special one that was NICU. I love babies. So she had twins, and during the whole time, one of them didn't progress as well as the other one, and it had to be transferred out, but the one that was stable was here. And so the mom and dad had to leave and go to a different, a higher level facility with the sicker baby, and she knew the hands that baby was in was well cared for. Yeah.
You never know what situation is going to present itself when you become a patient in the hospital, and what family member might go through different things. And when you've been a patient, as I've been a patient, and you've had family members who are a patient, I was telling you about my dad being a patient at one point, and the care that he received from his nurses, it was more about just, administering his chemo or checking his vitals. They would sit and talk and really get to know those patients, and my dad specifically. And I think that's something that sets our hospital apart from other facilities that you may encounter, because they do go above and beyond. And I know it's so hard for you to choose those award winners. So let's talk about who some of the past winners are. You've had 5 since we started last fall. So can you tell us who they were?
Daisha Hamilton, she's an ICU nurse. She was a new grad that started in our ICU, very skilled young lady. She was our first winner, very compassionate. She would kneel down, pray with the patient. The family was just overtaken by, they had no idea she was a brand new grad. I mean, that's the skill and the mindset that she had. She was very professional. Kate Kinzer, she's a radiology nurse. She'd been with us for a few years, super great nurse. Very compassionate, was very moved. The family nominated her as well. And also Matthew Blachart, he is a cardiac nurse. He works in our cardiothoracic vascular unit, open heart patient. Was recommended by the family as well. And then we have Jessica Anderson. She's a NICU nurse, and she was the one I was telling you about. Yeah. She really touched the hearts of many people and taking good care of our little preemies and sick babies. And then Jennifer Atkins, she's our last nurse that we just had, and she's a labor room nurse. And she helped a mom who struggled with her first delivery, make her feel really comfortable and made her feel at home.
Yeah. So do you do this every month, or is it just every so many weeks? What's the time frame that we pick?
It's monthly. So
it is monthly.
We shoot for the beginning of every month, but sometimes we're a little bit off depending on the nurse's scheduling. And,
everything has to come together like clockwork.
Yes,
of course. So let's talk about, once the nurse is selected for the Daisy Award, what do you do to recognize those winners?
We actually go to the unit. Myself, I'm the chief nursing officer, Juanita Deskins, she's our chief operating officer, and Omar or someone from HR will go with us. And we take a banner to the floor, and we present this nice green banner. It says the Daisy Award. And they're given cupcakes, which nurses love cupcakes and snacks. So they're given cupcakes, and they're given a nice little pin that they wear on their badge. And they actually get to park in the parking garage. They have a dedicated parking space in the parking garage on the second floor.
Now that's very important.
That is.
It's very important.
And they also get a story written about them and their story in the medical leader. And they're also on our billboard, so recognized. It's a sweet thing. They get flowers, a big bouquet of daisy flowers.
I imagine that this has been something really exciting to implement at the hospital, being able to, we do so many things at PMC that are wonderful, but this is just one more thing that we do for our employees and our nurses to make sure they know they're appreciated. And I know that the feedback that you probably have gotten from your nurses that have been winners has to be really good, because I know that sometimes they don't like the attention because they're just doing their job.
They're very surprised, and they have no idea until the day of.
So this is a total shock to
It's a
them.
total shock.
When you show up with the banner,
Until
yeah,
Juanita
and
walks through the
flowers
door.
and
Yeah.
cupcakes. They're just like, wow, they're surprised. And most of them get really tearful.
Yeah.
They're just very appreciative. I think it helps them connect back to the purpose of why they're a nurse, that they touch that many lives.
I think sometimes in any profession that you're in, you go through your job and that's what you do on a daily basis. But when someone takes you aside and says, hey, let me talk to you about what a wonderful job you're doing, it does make a big difference. And it is a very humbling thing. So let's talk one more time, because I know we have a lot of people that encounter nurses at the hospital that may be patients or have been there with family members. How do we get people nominated nurses for the Daisy Award, Omar?
Okay, so probably the easiest way is to go online on our website, and that is www.pikevillehospital.org/nominate-a-nurse. And so from there, you can just type everything in. If you're at the hospital, you can submit the paper ballot itself. So that's
Because
another
those are
option.
in your
Those
discharge papers.
They're in the discharge paper, and
Okay.
they're available at all information desks and on some of the floors.
Okay.
We're still kind of getting more ballot boxes in the mail to do that, but
Yeah.
we try to make it as simple as possible. And if you have a problem, you can come to HR, and I'll give you one myself.
Absolutely. So if you're at the hospital and you have been there with a family member or a patient yourself, or you've listened to our program today and seen all the great information, then just make sure that you look in your discharge papers. Take the time to go ahead and fill it out there. That way you don't forget when you get home. Drop it in the Daisy ballot box, and then we'll choose the winners. Michelle, you've been at the hospital, like you said, how many years?
21.
21 years. So you've seen a lot of nurses maybe come and go, a lot of things in healthcare change over the years. As we close today, I would like to for you to mention just a little bit about how our nurses adapt to change and do their jobs every single day.
So as a nurse, you were taught how to assess and look at a situation and how to change your pattern of what you're doing, whether it be the treatment plan, the care plan, or what can you do to help that patient make them better. And honestly, as a nurse, that's kind of innate in you. You feel like it's something that you do. It's like a mother, it's just an instinct. And nurses have that same instinct. And I think that they just adapt to the changes and what's best for that patient. Our goal is to get that patient better and give them the best care that they deserve.
Absolutely. We want everybody to feel like family when they come into Pikeville Medical Center to receive maybe outpatient care, or if they're going to be there for an extended period of time, we want to make sure that they get, as always, the best care possible. And our nurses and, of course, our doctors certainly do that. It is the Daisy Award. It's very exciting, and we love honoring our nurses. Michelle, Omar, thank you all so much for being here today to explain a little bit more about this award. So if we're at the hospital now and we see the boxes there, we'll be reminded that we need to make sure that if we know a nurse that has gone above and beyond, that we make sure that they get recognized in whatever department that they are in. And certainly don't forget to watch The Medical Leader, because that will have the name of the monthly winner in the picture.
Absolutely.
And of course, don't forget to watch the billboards too, because the very surprised nurse will be there with her flowers, her daisies, her cupcakes, and certainly awards well deserved. Guys, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
This has been Health Talk, a service of Pikeville Medical Center, proud member of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.